everybody, it's me, Tyler from DSWB. I'm back after a long while of not posting here on YouTube to tell you all about my favorite band of all time and rank a couple of their albums. And that band is... That's right, we're talking about Genesis. More specifically, the Phil Collins era of Genesis. He led on the lead vocals for 8 albums, and that's what we'll be ranking in this video. I do love Peter Gabriel Genesis quite a bit. The Lamb, Sailing England by the Pound, Foxtrot, and Nursery Crime, and Trespass too. All fantastic albums, and if you want to see a video on that, please let me know. But in this one, we're going to be talking about my boy, Phil. To pay a little tribute to Mr. Phil, I've decided to wear a Hawaiian shirt similar to the one he wore in the Misunderstanding music video. But that's enough about Phil Collins. I love him on the vocals, I love him on the drums, and I love him as a solo artist. So without any further ado, let's hop into the ranking of the 8 Phil Collins era Genesis albums. Number 8, And Then There Were Three. This was the first Genesis album with the trio lineup of Phil Collins, Mike Rutherford, and Tony Banks. Steve Hackett just left the band after they recorded the Seconds Out live album, so this was just Tony, Phil, and Mike from there on out. That's why they called it And Then There Were Three. Down and Out, Phil Collins on the drums. Brr, brr, brr. Awesome. I love Down and Out. Ballad of Big, it's a strange song, but it's one of the better ones. Undertow, Snowbound, I could take them or leave them. They're just okay songs. Burning Rope, good song. Deep in the Motherlode, good song. Many Too Many, pretty good song. I like that one. Scenes from a Night's Dream, Say It's Alright Joe. Say It's Alright Joe is the better of those two. The Lady Lies, I love The Lady Lies. You heard it in the introduction for this segment. And, of course, the hit single from And Then There Were Three, Follow You, Follow Me. Which is a great love song by Genesis. It was their first really popular hit single, and it's a pretty good tune. I really recommend you check it out. Got the gatefold on the album, got all the lyrics. Genesis. They do what Nintendo don't. Number 8, And Then There Were Three. It's a solid album. It's not Genesis's best work, but for the first one of 3 guys putting it together, it's pretty darn good. Number 7, 1991's We Can't Dance. This is the last album with Phil Collins on the vocals and the drums for Genesis. They did record one more, but Phil wasn't there, and neither was Peter or Steve Hackett. But we're talking about We Can't Dance, so we'll come back to Calling All Stations another time. No Son of Mine, fantastic opening. Genesis knows how to open their albums. This one is a very heavy subject of a song, but it's a good song. It jams, it rocks. No Son of Mine, go check it out. Jesus, He Knows Me. This song is super catchy. It's got a great music video. It's about evangelical people, being shady. Good song though. Check out the music video, and there's a pretty good cover of Jesus He Knows Me by the band Ghost. Go check that out as well. Driving the Last Spike is a song about building railroads. I like it. It's a good song, but it's a little long, and it's the start of the band sounding tired, which they sound a little tired on We Can't Dance, unfortunately. But that's all pretty good tunes. Now we talk about the hit single from this album, I Can't Dance, which is a very strange song, which to this day I I don't understand how it became popular, but I like it. Yeah, I love this song. Never a Time, pretty good song. Dreaming While You Sleep. I like Dreaming While You Sleep. It's a good song. Tell Me Why, Living Forever, Hold On My Heart. All good songs. The thing is the songs that are on here that aren't like really good, they're just kind of okay. It's got the same issue with and then there were 3. Never a Time is one of the weaker tracks. Where the World, it's okay. Since I Lost You, it's okay. And then we come on to the fantastic, which should have been the grand finale for Genesis, Fading Lights, right there at the bottom. Fading Lights is the last prog Genesis song, in my opinion. It's got a great keyboard solo from Tony Banks. Phil, he's singing his ass off, and it's a perfect song to wrap up Genesis. But they had to go and screw it all up by releasing Calling All Stations 6 years later. So, We Can't Dance, go check it out. I Can't Dance, I Can't Talk. Only thing about me is the way I walk.
Now listen to me, mama, mama, you're taking away my last chance. Don't take it away. Can't you feel my heart?
1983 self-titled Genesis, or as most fans call it, the Mama album. This thing is fantastic. We're really starting to get into the good stuff now. Opening track, Mama. I love Mama. Mama, the drums, the synthesizer, Evil Phil. Oh my god, this song's awesome, dude. Mama, Mama, please. I love Mama by Genesis. The drum fill, when I saw Genesis in 2021, the energy in the arena when they did the drum part of Mama was incredible. Fantastic song. The second track.
Just as I thought it was going all right, I found out I'm wrong when I thought it was right. It's always the same, it's just a shame, that's all.
That's All is a fantastic song as well. I believe it was the most popular song from this album. They had a couple hits off of this one. That's All is so good, man. Check it out. Home by the Sea is a 2-part song. It has a second part called Second Home by the Sea. It's about 11-12 minutes in total. It's about an intrusion in the night of a home by the sea, and they get caught by the ghosts that haunt the home by the sea. It's a great little tune. Now we're getting on to a controversial tune here on the Mama album, or Genesis, and that is Illegal Alien. I don't really know what to say about this song. It hasn't aged the greatest, that's for certain. I think the song does have a catchy melody, but Tony Banks, Phil Collins, and Mike Rutherford, you guys probably shouldn't have wrote this song. It has a music video which is also very questionable. And yeah, we'll leave it at that. Illegal Alien, not a very good song, but it's a little catchy if you're a Genesis fan. Those who know. Number 6. The 6th track on this album, Taking It All Too Hard. I like this song. Some people do not like Taking It All Too Hard. I think it's a good song. I think it's prime Phil Collins Genesis goodness. Just a Job to Do is a sweet song. It's about Phil Collins being a hitman. I got a name, I got a number, I got a lot on you. I love Just a Job to Do. It's so good, man. Silver Rainbow. That would be the weakest track on this album besides Illegal Alien, in my opinion. It's just okay. I think there's a couple parts of it that I like. And the final track, It's Gonna Get Better. I like that song. I don't know about other Genesis fans, but I think It's Gonna Get Better was a great way to end the Mama album. And that's why I put it at number 6 here. It's really good. There's tons of great tunes on here. And since this album cover art is the toy shapes you're supposed to put away.
You guessed it.
George.
It goes in the square hole.
This is the time, this is the place for the future. But there's not much love to go around. Tell me why this is a land of confusion.
She seems to have an invisible touch. Yeah. Number 5. 1986's Invisible Touch. This is the undisputed masterpiece of the Genesis collection. I don't mean that because I ranked it at number 5, but I love this album, and it's about as 80s pop goodness as you're ever gonna get. Let's hop right into the track. Side 1, Invisible Touch. I love Invisible Touch. It's so good. It's got the 80s pop, that key change at the end. It sounds great. Listen to the live versions. They're really good too, of Invisible Touch. It's a great song. Tonight, Tonight, Tonight. This one is the second longest song on the album, and it's a pretty good song. There's an extended instrumental segment in the middle that kind of drags on, but I still like it. I love Tonight, Tonight, Tonight. It's a great track. Land of Confusion. Now, Land of Confusion was what I believe the most popular song from this album due to its music video.
This is the world we live in, and these are the names we give.
The music video for Land of Confusion was super intriguing to me when I first saw it back in the day, and it's a great song. It's a great message for the world, I believe, especially these days. And yeah, you should check out Land of Confusion. Genesis was able to write much more profound songs in the 70s lyrically, but Land of Confusion still gets the point across. So, good song on Invisible Touch. Now, the last track on the A-side here is In Too Deep, the love song of the album. Well, they're all love songs in a way, but In Too Deep it's a great tune. It's a great way to finish off the A-side, and the A-side of this album is phenomenal. Invisible Touch, Tonight, 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 Land of Confusion, In Too Deep. That's a perfect A-side, in my opinion. Anyways, let's move on to the B-side. Anything She Does. I like Anything She Does. It is a catchy tune, just like the rest of the album. This is Genesis in their pop songwriting stride, dude. It's just fantastic. Anything She Does, pretty good tune. Domino. Domino is the sweet of this album. The prior album, Genesis Mama album, had Home by the Sea. This has Domino. Domino is also about 11 minutes long, I think. And it's a great tune. Both parts are good. Glow in the Night and the last Domino. I really like the part in the middle where they talk about looking at the beautiful river of blood. That's pretty cool.
Take a look at the mountains. Take a look at that beautiful river of blood.
But yeah, Domino's sweet, man. It was sweet when Genesis played it live. Check out Domino. Yeah. Throwing It All Away. Yeah. Throwing It All Away should have been the ending to this album, in my opinion. I think it's a great tune. It was one of the first Genesis songs I remember really liking. And yeah, Throwing It All Away, elite vocals from Phil. The guitar riff is pretty good. And yeah, Throwing It All Away, check it out too. I've said check it out a lot. And The Brazilian. The Brazilian is an instrumental, which ends this album. I like The Brazilian. The Brazilian's pretty cool. I do think Throwing It All Away would have been a better ending, but I do think The Brazilian is also fitting, and it's a pretty good instrumental from Mr. Tony Banks. Thank you, Tony Banks. Yeah, that is 1986's undisputed masterpiece, Invisible Touch. This one is probably the best album if you want to get into Genesis, and I really do highly recommend this because this is 80s pop goodness at its finest. Number 4, 1981's Abacab. I got a lot to say about this album, so let's get right into it. The opening track, the title track, is Abacab, which is this sweet experimental song that shows the new direction Genesis had been heading in on the last prior albums, Fully Realized, which that's what Abacab is. It's this sweet song. Phil's vocals are in their prime on this track. He's really killing it. And the instrumental segment at the end, where it sounds like you're in a jungle, and then the Mike Rutherford guitar solo, Tony Banks on the keyboards. Abacab, dude, it's so good. And they didn't play it live when I saw them. They didn't play a single song from this album live when I saw them. And that's because this album's controversial in the Genesis fandom. A lot of the prog fans hate Abacab. Sorry guys, I like prog Genesis just as much as pop Genesis. They're both fantastic. If you don't like Abacab, that's a shame because there's some goodies on here. Like No Reply at All, the second song, which has these horns that just sound phenomenal. I think it's the Earth, Wind, and Fire horns that were used on Phil Collins' Face Value album. They sound so good. It's such a catchy tune. It has a great music video. Me and Sarah Jane is one of the weaker songs on the album, but there is a part of Me and Sarah Jane that I like. There's a good bit, and then the rest of the song is just kind of okay. That's the weakest track on this album, in my opinion, other than Another Record, but we'll get to that. Keep It Dark. Keep It Dark's great. If you don't like Keep It Dark, man, Keep It Dark is a song about a man who has to keep some things dark because he saw more than he was supposed to see. And it's a great little tune. I really recommend you check it out. And it was a good way to end the A-side of Abacab here. We're going to talk about kind of how people got mad that Genesis started making shorter songs that were less complex, but I disagree because songs like Dodo Lurker exist, which is next up on the album. Dodo Lurker is this piece of two songs, the Dodo and the Lurker segment, and it was initially going to be a longer suite with a part called Nami Namu, which you really need to check out. Nami Namu if you're a Genesis fan and haven't heard it yet. It's really good. And Submarine. So it would have been Nami Namu, Dodo, Lurker, Submarine, which is a great suite combined together. I really recommend it. But Dodo Lurker, it's a funky, it's almost funky. It's got this great groove. It's an awesome song. It's badass. That's what it is. I love Dodo Lurker. And I think it really shows that Genesis was still trying to write complex, long songs. They were just heading in a different musical direction. And if you think about every other prog band that released an album in 1981, like Rush's Moving Pictures and Journey Escape, you know, there's so many examples. Yes did it too. They all went in this kind of more electronic 80s direction. All the prog bands did. So people saying Genesis sold out exclusively is just kind of ridiculous. All the bands headed, all the prog bands headed in this direction. But now we get to talk about Whodunit. Whodunit is phenomenal. Whodunit is a very strange experimental song which can get very repetitive to certain people. I think it's great. Whodunit is, it's not a great song though, but it gets kind of, you learn to appreciate it once you've listened to it a couple of times. So if you want to hear a really terrible song, listen to Whodunit. But I enjoy it, so I'm biased. Man on the Corner. Man on the Corner is, my dad said this once, Phil Collins' version of Fool on the Hill by the Beatles. And I love Man on the Corner. It's a beautiful song. It's really got a good mellow synthesizer, and at the end it kind of builds up and Phil's vocals really explode. It's a great song. The next tune, Like It or Not, I think should have been the ending to Abacab. I like It or Not a lot. It's a song about relationships, and it's a good little tune. It should have been the ending to Abacab, but it's not, because Genesis says, put another record on. And the final track is another record. I could take it or leave it. It's okay. I don't think it's a bad song, but Genesis could do better. But I am putting this album at number 4 because I overall enjoy Abacab more than Invisible Touch. I really do. The 3 sides live material that was recorded in the Abacab sessions is also fantastic. Paper Late, Me and Virgil, and Do You Recall, those are all really good songs that were originally intended for this album but ended up on 3 sides live, or if you live in the UK, the Genesis 3x3 single. Yeah, but that's Abacab at number 4. Alright, number 3, 1976's Wind and Wuthering. This was the last Genesis album with Steve Hackett on guitar, and what some people consider the last good Genesis album. I think they're wrong, but this is awesome, and we're going to go through the tracks now. The first track is the 11th Earl of Mar, which is a great opener for this album. It's a quite long song, but it's got just all the proggy goodness, since we're back in the prog now that we have Steve Hackett. It's a great song. One for the Vine, the second track, is also a really good song here on Wind and Wuthering. I really like One for the Vine. It's got all these different movements, and I really like the part where it goes all bells and whistly like that. It's pretty cool. Your Own Special Way was probably like Genesis's first attempt at writing a love song that had a chance to get popular. I think Your Own Special Way is a really good song. It's Phil's vocals are pretty good on it. The guitar work is really good, and I also like Tony Banks's little keyboard solo in the middle of the song. It's pretty good sounding. What Gorilla is sweet. That's a Brand X almost sounding song. It's got Phil on the drums just going wild, and Tony Banks on the keyboard also going wild. So What Gorilla? It's awesome. All in a Mouse's Night opens up the B-side, which is a song about what happens in a mouse's night. It's a pretty good little tune. One of the best ones on the album. Blood on the Rooftops. The guitar work, Steve Hackett on Blood on the Rooftops, dude, is really good. Phil's vocals are really good on that, especially when the release of the Blood on the Rooftops part happens. That is a quite good sounding song. I've always liked it. And then the end of the album is this 3-part melody of Unquiet Slumbers for the Sleepers, In That Quiet Earth, and Afterglow. The first 2 parts are instrumental, so Unquiet Slumbers for the Sleepers and In That Quiet Earth. I really like both of them. They're heavy, or at least In That Quiet Earth gets heavy. There's a part that's not so heavy, and then it goes into the heavy part, and that transition is sweet. And then when In That Quiet Earth ends, it goes into Afterglow, and Afterglow is a fantastic song. Great conclusion for the Wind and Wuthering LP here. I love it. It's the last one with Steve Hackett, and it's a great piece of work, and I wish Steve Hackett didn't leave the band because he added a lot to Genesis, I'd like to say. So that's number 3, The Wind and Wuthering. Number 2, 1980s Duke. The Duke is phenomenal. This is the most emotionally charged Genesis album. It's the perfect blend of the prog and pop. We're back to the trio lineup of Phil, Tony, and Mike, and this is their best work. This is the best one they ever did. You can tell I like this album quite a bit. Behind the Lines is a phenomenal opening. Like I said many times before, Genesis knows how to open their albums, and this is possibly their best opener. Except for the album that's ranked at number 1, but we'll get to that. The lyrics are cryptic as hell. I love it. Phil did a cover of Behind the Lines on his first album, Face Value, but the Genesis version is so much better. So, Behind the Lines, fantastic opening. And then the songs here kind of flow into each other for a little bit. So you go into Dutchess, and the melody of Dutchess and, well, Behind the Lines in Dutchess is fantastic. It's so good. Dutchess is one of the best Genesis songs, probably. And it's just phenomenal tune about growing up, passage of time, you know. Guide vocal kind of ends the melody here. And then you go into Man of Our Times. Guide vocal is a good little segment. It's the shortest Genesis song to my knowledge, but I like it quite a bit, and it returns later in the album. Man of Our Times is pretty good. It's not the strongest song. I actually think it may be probably my least favorite on the album, but I do like it. It's just not the best song on the album. And we get to the next track, Misunderstanding, which really shows off Phil Collins' songwriting chops. This was written in the batch of songs for Face Value, but it got picked to be on the Duke, and I think that was a fantastic idea because this song was a hit, and it helped the Duke become successful and possibly save Genesis from fizzling out. Great song. Heat Haze, another fantastic song, and it's a great way to end the A side of the album. The lyrics are extremely just powerful. Phil's vocals are so strong on that song, and the Heat Haze is emotional, but it's beautiful. And we start it back up. We go to a more positive note, even though if you read the lyrics, the song's not so positive. Turn It On Again, which is the other hit from this album. Turn It On Again is just so, it makes you want to tap your foot and bang your head. It's so groovy, dude. It's not even groovy. You're rocking out almost. But Turn It On Again's great, and it was a great way to change the pace of the album and get you back into it. I love Turn It On Again. It's one of the best Genesis songs. It's one of the catchiest Genesis songs, and you hear it on classic rock radio all the time. Alone Tonight, good little Mike Rutherford tune. I love Alone Tonight. It's a good song. Sing it, love it. The Duke, Cul-de-sac. Cul-de-sac is about going in circles, and Cul-de-sac is pretty good. Some people don't like it, from what I understand. I like the Cul-de-sac. I think it's got a lot of good instrumental work from Tony Banks, and Phil's vocals are on point. Cul-de-sac's pretty good tune. Please Don't Ask, another Phil Collins tune. I love Please Don't Ask. It should have been on Face Value instead of Duke. I think maybe In the Air Tonight should have been in its place, but who knows. I think Duke's like running order is perfect as it is, though. But Please Don't Ask is Phil Collins' most revealing song, I think, when it comes lyrically to what it's about. It's a very sad song, but it's beautiful, and I love it. Now we get on to the conclusion of this album. The prog. Duke's Travels and Duke's End, which flow into each other, so I'm just going to talk about them together. Duke's Travels has so many movements, and it's a flow all the way through Duke's Travels, dude. And then it starts building up at the end. It's so good. And then you get that little pause, and Tony Banks does his little keyboard solo. And then you go back in to Duke's End, which is a reprise of Behind the Lines. And during Duke's Travel, you also get to hear the same lyrics from guide vocal once again at the end of Duke's Travels.
There was a choice, but now it's gone. I said you were not
That whole segment of Duke's Travels and Duke's End is so good. And you kind of hear a little bit of Turn It On Again in Duke's End as well. It's just, you get to ride through the whole album again, essentially. And the Duke's phenomenal. It's so good, and that's why I put it at number 2. So go check the Duke out. This is probably the trio lineup's best work, I would say. That's number 2, the Duke. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is number 1. Genesis' album from 1976, A Trick of the Tail. This was the first album with Phil Collins on lead vocals. Peter Gabriel just left Genesis and they were unsure of where to go, so they said, Phil, get off the drums and get on the vocals. He still did play drums on this album when they did it in the studio, of course. When they played live, they had Bill Buford from Yes during this era, and later on, Chester Thompson. This album is phenomenal and is the best Genesis album with Phil Collins on vocals. Undisputed in my mind. Steve Hackett is here again, so we have 4 men. And Steve Hackett's contributions probably is what makes A Trick of the Tail so special. Phil, Tony, and Mike are all in their prime, and Steve Hackett is also in his prime on this album. A Dance on a Volcano is a phenomenal opening. It's so good. Everything just sounds perfect. The synthesizers, the guitars, the drums, and then you go into the Let the Dance Begin part where it's a crazy jazz fusion breakdown. It sounds so good, dude. I love A Dance on a Volcano, or Dance on a Volcano, but Entangled is a slower paced song which calms down the mood after the end of Dance on a Volcano, and it's got beautiful vocal harmonies from Phil. The guitars from Steve Hackett are great, and there's this very spacey keyboard solo from Tony Banks at the end of Entangled, which I like a lot. It's really good. Next up is the most badass song on the album, which is the Squonk. Squonk is about a little creature, a mythical creature, and it's a great little tune. It's a very odd song with a lot of segments, but it's badass. It's a badass song about the Squonk. The 4th track here, Madman Moon, is the longest song on the album, I believe, and it's a Tony Banks song. It's a sad song, and it actually is my least favorite, but I do not think it's a bad song. It's just it's slow and it ends the A side out, and I think it is a good song, and I've come to appreciate it more each listen. That's the A side of A Trick of the Tail. It's really good so far. And then you get into Robbery, Assault, and Battery, which is Phil's song on this album. I do believe it's a little divisive. It has a music video.
Robbery, assault and battery, heaven and his felon.
I think the song's genius because it's Phil telling you a story about a robbery, assault, and a battery. And that's the felon and his felony. It's a genius song. Robbery, Assault, and Battery is great. Next up, we have the best love song on this album, which is The Ripples. Ripples is a pretty long tune as well. The guitar work is great. Phil's vocals are great. Some people say they sound weak, but I think they sound just as powerful as anything else on Ripples. Check out the live versions from the 1980s Duke tour. Or 1980 Duke tour. Those are really good. Ripples is phenomenal song on A Trick of the Tail. And then we hit the title track.
You got no horns, you got no tail, you don't even know of our existence.
A Trick of the Tail. This song, it's a really good song. A Trick of the Tail is the second best song on the album, other than Dance on a Volcano. I love A Trick of the Tail. It's about a beast and how he plays a trick. And it's great. Go check out A Trick of the Tail. That song, if you haven't heard it before.
The last song is called Los Endos.
Los Endos is phenomenal. It sounds like Brand X. Phil is just going at it on the drums. The synthesizers, Tony Banks is going at it. The guitars are going at it. Mike Rutherford and Steve Hackett. Los Endos is just phenomenal. And then it gets to this point where it all starts to wrap up. You hear a little bit of Dance on a Volcano again. And then you go back into Squonk. It's so awesome because it takes you back through the album again, just like Duke does. But this one does it a little bit better in my opinion. So Los Endos is phenomenal. The live version of Los Endos on Seconds Out, ooh, incredible. So that's A Trick of the Tail, and I ranked this at number 1 because it's a fantastic album. It's prog, it's Genesis, and Phil Collins rocks. So Trick of the Tail. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have made it to the end of this video. That is my ranking of the Phil Collins era Genesis studio albums. I hope you liked it. Feel free to share yours in the comments. I'd love to see it. These are just my personal opinions, so don't be offended if they're different. I think everybody's entitled to their own opinion, so rock on. I want to thank you all for 595 subscribers on DSWB. I never thought that would happen. That's dream come true. So thank you guys for that. You guys fucking rock. Yeah, Phil Collins rocks. The Peter Gabriel era of Genesis is also cool. So if you want to see a video on that, let me know. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next DSWB video.